though there aren't current specific threats. This is according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. And joining us now to discuss this subject is Lieutenant Stephen Rogers, former U.S. Navy officer of Naval Intelligence and former New Jersey police detective. Good afternoon, Lieutenant Rogers. So can we start with the basics here? What exactly is a sleeper cell? What do they do, and how do they operate in the United States?
Well, to begin with, we've been concerned about sleeper cells for quite some time, especially since the border was open during the Biden administration. Now, a sleeper cell is not created overnight. A sleeper cell consists of individuals who have come into this country illegally, who are well trained before they come into this country, and trained to do what? To blend in with the community. The individual that is in a sleeper cell could be a person who is in the workplace, who lives in your neighborhood. They've learned to blend in to each community by becoming school teachers, some cases police officers. In other words, there's no way on earth that you would be able to tell who would be involved in a sleeper cell. But they are well trained and they are prepared at a minute's notice to be activated, meaning that if their host country, in this case we're concerned about Iran, gives them the word to launch a terrorist attack somewhere in the United States, they will come together, they will do the planning, they will effectively do what they would want to be a successful terrorist attack anytime, any place in the United States of America. We've been concerned about this for quite some time as a result of the illegal border crossings. And now, unfortunately, what we feared the most can become a reality.
So having heard that, the immediate question would be, what are the methods authorities are using to identify a sleeper cell?
Well, certainly, I'm not going to give out all of the methods because some of them are, I'm sure, classified. But I will say this to you, that it is extremely important that we put all hands on deck. We've heard that over and over again, meaning that every single American citizen who loves this country, if they see something, they need to say something, now more than ever. And we notice that a lot of people do see a lot on the internet. They'll see certain chatter. They'll listen to people having conversations. By all means, make the call. Don't feel foolish. In addition, we have to, and I've said this over and over and over again, the national security mechanisms in this country are great. We've got terrific intelligence gathering resources. But I've got to tell you that where we lack is in training police officers on a local level, what to look for, what to report, what to be involved with when it comes to this problem regarding sleeper cells. So a lot more information has to be given to local police departments. And we may find that the local cop knows the who, what, when, where, and why on the streets in their neighborhoods more than any national security team in Washington, D.C.
In your opinion, do you think people should be concerned? Should there be any worry, for example, when going to large public events?
Well, we're always concerned, are we not? But we cannot allow the terrorists to win even before they strike. I mean, look, they want to take our freedom away, our freedom of speech, our freedom of assembly, our freedom of movement. We have to live. It's a free country. But if we're vigilant and we keep our eyes and our ears open, we may be able to prevent a lot more than what people believe could happen. And by the way, the FBI, I know, has come under a lot of criticism over the past few years, but I've worked at FBI headquarters at the National Joint Terrorism Task Force. You could thank the FBI for this country not being attacked up to this point. They're a great group of individuals working very hard night and day in conjunction with all the other law enforcement agencies around the country. I think we're pretty safe, we're pretty secure, but now it's all hands on deck.
Okay, if I may, Lieutenant Rogers, I would like to ask you about a specific, something specific. For example, New York City, right, considered potentially a top target for terrorists. How has the NYPD been trained to handle threats like sleeper cells?
Well, you haven't had any attacks yet, and we actually have seen news reports over the past couple of years that potential terrorist activity has been stopped. So they have the sophisticated equipment, they have the tools, they have the skills, they have the training, and they have the manpower to prevent terrorist attacks. May not prevent all of them, but I believe at this point they have prevented some of them, just based on some of the news reports we've received over the past few years. That's why I say we're pretty safe and secure, because we do have well-trained officers out there on the field. But NYPD is the best in the world, not just the best in the country, the best in the world when it comes to intelligence gathering information that they are able to disseminate not only nationwide but worldwide in order to prevent a potential terrorist attack.
Would you say the U.S. is better prepared now than in previous years?
Oh, absolutely. With Donald Trump becoming president of the United States and the people that he put into our national security matrix, talking about the National Security Council, his advisors, a lot safer today than we were yesterday.
Okay, just in closing, can you just reiterate your personal confidence level in the work of local, state, as well as federal law enforcement to keep our community safe during this time?
Oh, I believe now at this point, I could tell you my confidence level is extremely high. Why? Because of the conduct of our national security teams from the White House through the Pentagon, through our military and civilian intelligence agencies. They're sharing a lot of information. They're talking to intelligence agencies overseas like never before. That's why my confidence rate is very, very high. And frankly, I feel very safe at this point in time.
Well, Lieutenant Rogers, well said. Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you.
Coming up next, Iran's defense minister landed in China today. His first trip since Israel